Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're talking about the one and only Turbo coin. We can see, right? We do have some news regarding Turbo. Turbo X Mexi zero fee week is live. Get ready for zero fee trading, memes, quizzes, and big prizes with Turbo. $2,000 prize pool, meme contest plus community quiz from July 1st to the 7th, right? Trade Turbo with zero fees. So those that are traders, those that are into this, right, you could be trading with zero fees, but there's also a $2,000 prize pool. Okay. So very, very nice. Very, very nice. It's what we love to see. We go over the basics. We can see that we rank 163rd in the world, 0.0034 in price, 235 million market cap, 33.75 million in volume in the last 24 hours. We can see we're down roughly 10% in the last day, roughly down 32% in volume. Right when we go to something like holders, we can see we actually continue to go up despite having a red day, right? Which is what we love to see, right? Which is what we love to see. Now, before we jump into the technical analysis, right? I want to share what some people have been thinking about this coin, right? Some people on Twitter, some other YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to call them. Right, so we see Steph is crypto said only future turbo millionaires can like this post, right? And we can see, right, he's creating a falling wedge, which technically, right, we are kind of in a falling wedge, and he expects price to explode sooner than later to the upside. We can see, right, someone like Crypto Knight with 60,000 followers also believes that the road to the upside is much sooner than later. Okay. So let's see, right? We have a few people that believe that Turbo is going to be going up. Now, someone says, does this mean Turbo is about to get loaded on Robinhood app soon? Right? Turbo isn't tradable on Robinhood crypto. Only real-time market data is available. And to answer your questions, no. No, that doesn't mean anything because there's lots of coins, in fact, hundreds of them that are in the same boat where you could monitor the price, right? Look at the charts, but you can't trade them. So it doesn't mean anything. It literally does not mean anything, right? One or two more tweets. That's it. We can see that Turbo, good chart in my opinion, right? So it's talking about the support area. All right, we cover this. And yeah, a lot of people are overall fairly bullish on Turbo, right? We can see this one person believes that, you know, Turbo is going to break out soon. They're looking for some type of entry. Now, here's the deal, people, right? We are going to look at the charts. We can see, right, overall, if we even pull up everything, that a lot of coins are down a good amount, right? Minus a couple percent, Turbo is minus 7%. Some of the coins are like 4%, 5%. We can see all on the right side. Bitcoin itself is down roughly 1.5%, right? We talked about this on the stream and just in general that we expect a little bit of a pullback because, right, we have boom, 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 right? Consistent lower highs, and we are in a channel, right? We are in a channel as of right now. So we know with Bitcoin coming back down, is obvious that also Turbo is going to come back down. We also did say yesterday that I don't really like this price action over here. Yeah, technically, we are kind of still looking to be going to the upside, right? We did shift the structure, but I said this doesn't look too healthy, too convincing. The structure can definitely reshift down, back down, right? And we can see we are currently selling off. We are currently selling off. We are still on top of this big support. So we'll obviously monitor how everything is going. Overall, right? Overall, um, you know, for me, it's more about looking to be getting in nice dollar cost entries for something like Turbo, right? Rather than necessarily time the reversal for now. My personal goal, right, and this includes Turbo, and this includes just in general, is focus on A to Z. I make these videos because I find them as a fun hobby and because I also do want to help people out. We talked about how in the last video, second last video, I asked if you guys still want daily uploads because some people complain, not too much happens. But a lot of you guys were super supportive. There's always a lot of likes, always a lot of comments that are supportive. So, you guys understand, the 99% of you that are smart understand that, not so much can change always in a 24-hour span, but you still like the updates. You guys still like to have um, that peace in your mind. One thing I am looking for is to see if we will be holding 0.0034. Let's just say, right? If we start really going below this zone, then that is technically a lower low. Okay. Here's the thing. For me, it relies more on Bitcoin than Turbo necessarily, right? This doesn't look too healthy nor convincing. We do have new monthly candles though. So that is the thing. Um, usually there's some type of sweep and then it reverses. So if we were to sweep, then we could be going as low as 0.0029, sweep it, and then reverse, right? Sweep it and then reverse aggressively. If we did go that low and we had an aggressive buy candle, right? Then for me, that is the confirmation that we are going up. Overall, right? Overall, if we do continue to, range, right? Because this monthly June candle, it doesn't look that healthy, right? We could see July as a slower pullback. Doesn't mean August and September will, but right now for something like Bitcoin, June did not look, the healthiest despite the 3 month being good. So some type of pullbacks are to be expected, in my opinion, right? It could just be the same thing where the beginning of June is just a sell-off manipulation. Sorry, the beginning of July is a self-manipulation for many coins, and then we start recovering, right? Of course, we will monitor everything, right? And of course, we will continue to update you guys with Turbo. Just in terms of the monthly candles, right? The selling pressure is very nice. It's not that strong. It's not that aggressive. That is what we love to see. Okay, that is what we love to see. This big, nice April candle is still a lot bigger than you can see the last 2 months that closed. Of course, this current month is just starting now, so it's not fair to really judge it. But we can see, right? The buying pressure is here. All right, the buying pressure is still here on the bigger time frame. So I am not too worried. But ultimately, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you do want a portfolio review or to be part of the private community, highly recommend joining, especially that now and the next few months are going to be the craziest. You cannot afford to make mistakes, the way some people are. So that is it. I love you guys so, so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.